up?
How did I get so far gone?
Fuck on.
Where do I belong?
Do I belong?
And where in the world did I ever go wrong?
Did I go?
How did I get so far gone?
Fuck on.
Where do I belong?
Where do I belong?
And where in the world did I ever go wrong?
Another victim of this life that we live. Rolling up with the villains and popping these painkillers. Euphoria. What a wonderful feeling. The smoke is clouding my thoughts. The liquor's flooding my liver. Trying to paint a perfect picture from the soul. If I cut my earlobe, I be Vincent Van Gogh with mad dope. That's some shit that you can quote. I got some pip that you can smoke. I got some bitches that would go. In this life you get a paradise. Sometimes you gotta roll them both. Taking chances, reaching goals to each his own. Gotta grind to feed your home. In this life I'm all alone. I understand it now. I'm grown.
How did I get so far gone?
Fuck on.
Where do I belong?
Where do I belong?
And where in the world did I ever go wrong?
Welcome. If you're here, you're probably feeling a little angst. If you're here, you're probably feeling a little angst about the new changing of the guard. We're having a new administration that's coming in, and some things are going to change. And some people are feeling some angst about it. There's going to be some drastic changes on how our social services are divvied up, on our tax code, on reproductive health care. We're in for it. So, well, whether that will be good or bad is really still to be seen. Some people are applauding it, and some people are afraid of it. So we're going to get right down to business. And I'm going to give you the 5 tips on thriving, not surviving, because you're going to do more than survive, ladies. You are going to thrive during this administration. Okay? So I'm not going to do the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm going to do it in no particular order of importance, because to me, they're all important. So, number 1 of the 1 to 5 is start a business. You will have more control over your income and time owning a business, creating your own life and work balance. You get to determine when you work, where you work, with whom you work, and if you want to work while on vacation or not, or when you feel like taking a vacation, you can take it. Now, there are several advantages for owning a business, but in the Trump administration, there will be loads more of advantages. Number 1, if you're a single mom and you've filed your taxes as head of household, well, that is about to go away. He is doing away with the head of household tax filing, and you would need to tax as single, which raises your tax rate to about $2,500, give and take a few. So what you want to do, ladies, is create a business. The tax code for business was meant to reward risk takers and job creators. You can write off many business expenses from business furniture, office that is maintained inside the home, food, business lunch or dinner, trips to conduct business, or advanced training that improves. A book by Bernard B. Komaroff. I'm not sure if I'm saying his last name right, but anyways, he's a CPA. He has this book explaining the at least 475 tax breaks for businesses or for the self-employed. Trump is a businessman, and the greatest tax cuts are going to be those who have assets, and a business is an asset. And another advantage of having your own business that you're going to meet of a wide variety of people in different industries and jobs. As those of us who are 9 to 5ers, we're usually just regulated to who works in our building or in our area or in our industry because we don't, as a rule, we don't really venture out that much. We usually form friendships within the office of the people we come in contact with. So, ladies, really, 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 or gentlemen, if you're listening, really consider starting a business. I mean, whether it's your baking or it's your sewing or your jewelry, anything, just start a business. Number 2, learn valuable and needed skills. What do I mean by that? Because you're probably saying, well, sheesh, my friend went to college and she's working at the Gap. Well, look, college education doesn't mean that the skills you obtain in college are valuable. We've all read about all the folks with degrees stuck in lower wage jobs. We see how the complete disappearance of jobs and industries have collapsed cities. And cities such as Detroit, the car industry completely was decimated. Listen closely. There are 20 million people in college at any given year. About 3 million graduate a year. 3 million of those people graduate a year. And if the economy creates, let's say, an average of 145, it's usually more, usually gets into the 200,000 during the holiday period. But we're going to go with the average of 145 in a good month. That results in about 1.7 million jobs a year. We fall short of having even enough jobs for all those who want to work. We really fall short when you take into account high school graduates who don't even attend college but want to just enter the workforce. Now, after taking into account that the number of jobs created isn't keeping up with the number of the population who want jobs and college grads, then we must also consider the type of jobs that are being created. And the bulk of those jobs being created are low-wage service industry jobs. Okay? So, enough of why you may need to think long and hard about learning new skills. And you want to go into skills that can't be outsourced. They can't move your plant to Mexico or China. And that would include things that you need: direct human touch, direct patient care, nursing, doctor, trades such as plumbing, electrician, car repair. Look, this is a new year. This was going to happen with or without Trump. Actually, it's been happening for the past 30 years. We see that today we have the largest number of working eligible people out of the workforce. They've completely disappeared. So we have to think smart about the skills that we are going to obtain in order to thrive in the new economy. So we're going to move on to the number 3. Now, let's say there will be no safety net. The tax rate's going to change, and it's going to reduce the middle class even more. Some people are calling it the new Hunger Games, or the Hunger Games that's coming into fruition for real life. So one of the most important things that you need to do in the immediacy, like you need to start thinking and moving on it today, do not delay, is increase your income. And you don't want to increase your income just to have a whole bunch of money around. No, you want to increase your income so that you can obtain hard assets. You want to buy home, you want to buy land, you want to buy the ability to where you can be as self-sufficient as possible without having to rely on a government structure. Because ladies, we don't know what government's going to look like 4 years from now. You know, some people say that we may go back into the 50s. Maybe there'll be a reinvigoration into the economy. That's the dreamer's view. And then others are saying it's going to be a total collapse and the government's going to collapse and you're going to turn on your light and there's going to be no lights and you're going to go to the supermarket and there's not going to be any bread. Now, whatever the scenario is going to be, you are going to be prepared. We're going to get this together. We're going to be prepared together. I'm not prepared myself. I need to get prepared. But this is things that I have come up with for myself and hopefully will help you. So, how do you go around increasing your income? You know, you may need to take a second job. You may need to take a third job. You should open that business. And another reason why you should get hard assets is because, and investments is because the new administration has already proposed eliminating capital gains tax. To read more about increasing income and reducing liabilities, check out the book Rich Dad Poor Dad, and check out his the quadrant. I'm not sure exactly what it's called, but it's called the quadrant, and I'm gonna put a link for you guys. Number four is so important. You know, when we get through our day-to-day life, sometimes we isolate ourselves. It's very easy to retreat to our quiet place when we're busy working, taking care of the home and the kids. So it's going to become even more important that we, number 4, nurture and extend your network. As change happens, good or bad, or even good or bad, within this more complicated society in which we live, we can become so overwhelmed, and it leads us to anxiety and depression, which can, affect our health. And we need to be in good health because we don't know what health care is going to look like in 4 years. Take the time to nurture your relationships by having more intimate touch points. What I mean by more intimate touch points. Forget about texting. Forget about emailing. Call that person. Go see that person or persons. Intimate touch points. It's emailing and texting is very impersonal. It's more of a, hey, thinking about you, but looking forward to see you this weekend at lunch. Especially if you're a single mom. And that is why, we have the SingleMoms Hub. So that you can nurture and extend your network. Take advantage of it. Tell a friend, tell other single moms, so that we can grow this community and make it a viable community in which we can thrive. And not just this environment, but any environment. He has the most, he, meaning President Trump, has the most 8 years. So we don't know who's going to be coming behind him. So we need to make ourselves as efficiently reliant on self as possible in this new age. Okay. So, hold on. I need some water. So, we're up to number 5. And what's number 5, you say? Listen closely. If you are of childbearing age, get an IUD. That's right, an IUD, the love name for intrauterine device, is a reliable birth control method that can last for 10 years. An IUD can save your life or at least make sure you don't fall off an economic cliff by getting pregnant during uncertain times. Look, we know the statistics about poverty and single parenthood. Many of us are living within it. We know that the new administration may cut social services and the safety net and further undermine the safety net that began in the undermining that began in the 1990s. Besides, you can do all of the above, 1 to 4, much more efficiently and effectually without the worry of having to take care of another child during precarious times. The reason it is more of imperative now is because with the incoming president and legislature, it is believed that access to reproductive health will be limited. So we really need to start taking care of business. If you never took it serious before, if you've been, just floating by day, it is time to just stop, think, and prepare. And not just for you, but for your children. And stay flexible. The state you in may not be the state that is best for you to live. The city you in may not be the best city that you live. This country may not be the best country for you to live. In order for you to thrive, stay flexible. And until next time, take care.
Between, I had a dream like a Martin Luther King that we'll see them better days as I walk through them heaven gates. Angels wave, I'm amazed. Then I woke up in the day, back to being slaves, where we chasing money, getting paid.